Oh my God! Hello, everybody! Hello! Welcome to the RuCap with Q Life Media. I'm your host, Alex Ringler. I'm calling you from New York again. It's good to be home. Let's go around our panel this week. Tell me who you are, where you're calling in from, and I don't know. What was the last really good dessert you had, Russ?
Hi, I'm Russ White. I am co-founder, co-producer of Q Life Media, the International Drag Queen Database, the local Las Vegas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce, and a couple of other things. My last dessert or my most favorite dessert?
Either or. Dealer's choice.
My last dessert. God, we've had so many lately.
Whatever keeps the show going.
I wasn't ready for dessert. You know what? I made some chocolate chip cookies No. I made some chocolate chunk cookies a few weeks ago that were just amazing.
I like my cookies like I like my men, chocolate and chunky. Andrew.
Hello, I'm Andrew Lignelli, also from Las Vegas, Nevada. I can't remember the last time I had dessert, to be honest, but my favorite is anything Cinnabon related.
Oh my God, I had a cinnamon roll yesterday. It was amazing. Michael, your turn.
Hi, I'm Michael Barbieri. I am the dining and entertainment writer for nightlifeexchange.com here in New York. And the last dessert I had, I'm not eating a lot of desserts lately. That's why there's less of me. But I found these really good little brownies that are low carb, no sugar, and they're only 60 calories each, and they're really, really yummy. So
that sounds terrible. Oh my goodness.
No, they're good. They're really good.
I'll have to try one. Garrett.
Hey everyone, calling in from Las Vegas, co-founder of Q Life Media. The last piece of dessert I had, I believe his name was Ronnie, and he was from Chile. No, I'm just kidding. I think cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory was the last time I had.
Very Golden Girls of you. Thank you for being a friend, Garrett.
That went from hot to really sad real fast.
Now, if you had cheesecake and the Chilean, like that would have been. Aaliyah, what's up?
Hi, I'm Aaliyah Sky calling in from Los Angeles. And I would probably agree with Andrew and them. I haven't really had a dessert. Mm-hmm. Are cookies desserts?
Yes.
Okay, well then I had one cookie yesterday. So I'm going to have my dessert.
Was he Chilean?
No, it was chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip Chilean. Gotcha. Okay, Walter, last but not least, there he is.
Hi, everyone. It's the dreaded and feared Walter Kurtz coming to you live from the world's most important and most celebrated metropolis, New York City, home of, yes, the chandelier. I can't remember the last dessert I had, but probably one of my favorite desserts is to eat an entire pan of either Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker brownies that you put in the oven.
Ooh, yummy. I think
just
I had watermelon.
Cut and just eat it.
I forget what my last dessert was. It was like watermelon or something. Ugh, boring. Anyway, getting into the episode this week, we started with, we said a nice non-tearful goodbye to Kimura at the beginning, and then we get into a mini challenge of sorts, where, Rue is a little bit. Rue is selling her new song, so God bless her. She has to keep the lights on in that show. So, it was fun. It was fun to see. It's kind of like it reminded me of the like old lady challenge too. It's like put them in a fun costume and have them twerk. It's like why not? That's good TV. But then we get the main challenge. Oh, there she is. What's the winner? La la.
You won. That's the winner. La la Ree.
Bless her heart. I don't know if winning's going to happen again for her. Anyway, getting to the main challenge of the ball this week. I love when they do the ball challenge. I love seeing, like Rue said, 36 looks. Usually it's when, in previous years, it's been when there have been fewer queens. So it's good to see the creativity of 12 queens in front of us. That was really, really awesome. So since that was pretty much the show, I think we should just hop to the runway. What do you guys think? Let's start with giving our toots and boots from each category. The first category was mixed bag. I thought this was really, really fun. I like that everyone kind of got to do their own thing here. They got to prepare how they wanted to at home. And you get to see a little bit of the queen's creativity, or their designer's creativity, as it were. Oh, fun bags. Okay, I was like, what? My thing cut out, and I couldn't see what Simone's outfit was.
Right.
It was fun.
There's a lot. But
Yeah.
here's
So
all
many.
12. Okay.
I mean, I think everyone did a pretty good job. If I had one overall toot, I would say it was either Got Mick, but I really liked Denali's. When she came out on stage as the crash test dummy, I was like, that's really fun. And she was the first to go. And I just thought it was like, it was kind of like Gaga meets drag meets something fun and campy. So I really liked her. And if I had an overall boot, I would say, for me, it was Joey J. The fact that she could have been like all wrapped in gauze, she could have done some sort of plastic surgery situation where she had something falling off, and instead she went for this ivy thing, and then she didn't even connect the joke of poison ivy. It was like, then there was absolutely no thought there. So those were mine. Let's go around and say who you liked, who you didn't, and if you have an honorable mention, let's go to Aaliyah Sky.
Is it for all the categories or just the first one?
First one, yeah, first mixed bag.
Oh God, okay. I'm gonna say I liked Utica's the best because I kind of felt like it was very reminiscent of like Sharon Needles.
Yeah,
and she did her like poodle with the boots and whatnot. So I kind of felt like it was like an updated version of that. So she was my like probably top 2 of that category.
Okay, and did you have a boot?
Oh God, so many. I was tooting and booting them as they were walking. I can go down the list, girl. I gave Gottmik a boot. I mean, it was cute, but it wasn't the best. I'm gonna say, yeah, Lala Reese. I didn't really like the bag of bones.
Yeah, it was a bag and like a bone. It wasn't like a bag of bones. There was like the skull and like a little bit of rib.
I wish it had just been like bones over the entire dress instead of
like a
one
corset made of ribs or something. Like that would have been cute, But I don't know. Yeah, I get it. And I kind of agree with you there. Let's go to Andrew. Did you have a toot and a boot for mixed bag?
Yeah, I actually liked almost all the looks to various degrees. My favorite would have to be, I agree with you with Denali. I thought it was super creative and very well done. But I think my favorite was Simone's fun bags.
Mm-hmm.
It was just fun,
Yeah.
And
big and drag and everything, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked Candy's too, the magic tricks, and the bag turned into a cape. I thought that was creative. Even if it wasn't the most intricate look, it was still a fun runway to do. My only real boot would be Elliot because it was just a dress with some like it was the most boring, basic, run-of-the-mill outfit I've ever seen on a ball challenge.
Yeah, I had her on my boot side too, just because I like watched it back and I was like, not that memorable. And it was the short dress with the thing. I was like, you could have done more with it, or I'm not sure.
Too literal and had no creativity to it.
Yeah, it was just like, it looked like almost off the rack, but like, or even a bad costume from like Party City or something like that. Go back to Party City where you belong.
But
you have a toot and a boot from this week?
Who did you say?
Russ, I'm sorry.
Mine.
Really like Utica. And who was Fun Bags? Is that Simone?
No.
Those are my 2 toots, and obviously Simone had 2 more toots to give. Did not like Tamisha as much.
Tamisha's for the mixed bag.
Old bag.
Yeah,
I agree.
bag.
Yeah, I agree with what the judges said. It was like it was a suit, and if you didn't act like an old lady, like we wouldn't have gotten what you were doing. So it was more in the performance than in the costume. So I agree. Garrett, did you have a toot and a boot? Did you do you already? I don't think we did. You?
No, I haven't done it. I thought Denali was cute with the airbag.
Yeah,
I thought that Utica was cute with the poop bag, and I did like the fun bag as well. My boots would be. I enjoyed it. I thought they were all pretty creative. Of course, I did think Elliot was in the bottom, but I also thought Olivia Lux as the boxer, like the punching bag.
Tough.
But I didn't like it because I think that earlier in the week, last episode, Simone did it better, like with the box look. So that was it.
And that's tough because we did see that for the LeMay challenge out of Simone, and so I bet Olivia saw that go down the runway and she was like, fuck.
Uh-oh.
So, but it's like, what's she gonna do? She already had one outfit to make. She could have maybe tried to make another, but it's like you got to go with what you have, and it kept her safe. So all good on the Olivia front. Michael, did you have a toot and a boot of the first challenge, the mixed bag challenge?
Michael?
I like Denali with the airbag. I thought that was really clever. Simone was brilliant. It was kind of Wendy Williams almost.
Oh God, it is.
With those
What
giant
if she
tits.
painted on the runway?
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought was Wendy Williams. How you doing? And I loved all of Utica's looks. I thought that Tamisha had a bad night in terms of all of her looks. I didn't like any of them.
You just throw mixed bag.
And yeah, you said it. Olivia's punching bag. Simone did it better.
Yeah, it's just it's tough when that happens though, because you never know what the other queens are gonna bring. Yeah, you never know what the other queens are gonna bring, so you gotta just kind of go with what you know. Walter, mixed bag, toot, boot.
The boots were Lala Ree's was just horrible, and she couldn't walk in it. It was a disaster. Elliot's was basic. Tamisha's was just a suit. Olivia's was also just a suit. I didn't like Mix. Tina Burner's was ugly, but on a positive note, for me of all people, I did like Denali's. I did like Candy's, even though it made no sense. At least she was covering her body for a change. That wasn't me being hateful, but she loves to just put it out there. Can you put an outfit on for once, please? Loved Utica's. Totally loved Utica's. Loved Rosé's. Loved Rosé's, but the best one was absolutely Simone's.
Are we on the second set right now?
No, still the first.
Still first.
Okay.
Yeah, and Simone killed it.
Simone, yeah, was very good. I think Denali took it for me, but I give an honorable mention to Simone as well. Going to number 2, money bags. This could have gone a lot of ways. We've seen girls do the money bag challenge before, where they have, a dress full of dollars, where we have just an expensive looking Miranda Priestley, like a lot of the girls did. And then we have, my boot, which was Candy, bless her heart. But yeah, so I would say my boot for this was Candy. I did not care for just like, okay, she's like a hoe, but now she's the leader of the hoes or something. I was like, it's just underwear and a robe, and put a different wig on it, and it has nothing to do with the challenge. The fact she couldn't put that money wig on any outfit she had and called it her money thing, I was like, that's no to me. I think Gottmik really took this one. That's going to be like a showstopper look that's going to be referred to for the rest of Drag Race, I think. Also, this reminded me of the train challenge that Rosé did, where she had like the tulle up the side, but this is how you do it right. You do it up the pants, and you still let the skirt come in you still let the waist come in to give you more of a shape. Where Rosé did it wrong, where she did the whole thing, and then she had like the big skirt in the background, and it just lost the shape. This was done correctly. So Gottmik was my 2, and Candy was my boot with a honorable boot mention to Lala Ree. She was just the dress. So anyway, let's go around toots and boots. Oh, we have 2 Michael Barbieris in the room right now. That's
double the pleasure, double the fun.
Give me your toot and your boot.
So my toot, I actually really loved Denali's Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
I thought that was so good.
Gorgeous.
I do like Gottmik's. I think it must have been sexier in person than how it came across on TV, in my opinion, because they were more gagged than I thought.
I think
that was my thought.
Mm-hmm. I actually really like Lala Ree's.
Okay.
This was the only good look I think she had this week.
Yeah.
But most of them didn't scream money bags to me. Like most of them are just kind of suits.
Yeah.
Basic.
It's an easy way to go. Yeah.
And then I did like Utica's too. The kind of flapper inspired one. That was good.
Yeah, that was fun. And the fact that she made that jewelry herself too, the oversized earrings that she used is kind of almost a breastplate. Russ, what did you think? Toot and boot of money bags.
I have 3 toots. Utica, Rosé. I love the Bette Midler look from Big Business.
Yeah, that was fun. A nice
That
call.
was, I just really smiled when that came on.
Yeah.
But the showstopper was Got Mick.
Yeah, it was a good one. I kind of wish maybe like not a bra, but like a corset under there. But maybe that's just me because I'm in love with corsets. Garrett, what did you think? Toots and boots of money bags.
Same. I like Utica, and I like the Bette Midler look. I thought that was fun. But to Andrew's point, like money, like when you walk in, I think that to a room, people would want to assume you had money, like all this money. So some of them just seemed executive. It was more like an executive challenge, like
which
was
wasn't a challenge. Yeah.
But I like. Oh, I also really liked the futuristic kind of like Alien, the Fifth Element look of Simone.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that one, but it looked really good. You know, so yeah, I'll give it that one. Did you have some boots, or just in general a suit boot?
Just kind of a suit boot. Yeah, I mean, it was like whatever for me. I thought the first ones were so much more creative than the second round, and then the third one gets creative again for me. So
completely, yeah. Aaliyah, what did you think?
So I'm gonna agree with the whole Gottmik thing. I think in live, I think there it probably looked a lot better. I'm sure the rhinestones were a lot more dramatic and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know that I'm obsessed with the look. I feel like it'll go down in history as one of those like Jasmine like Masters like gown that she was like so gagged over, and it's like so I don't think it'll be me personally. I don't think it'll be a look that we'll remember like even next season. But I still think it was cute, and I'm actually going to mention Tina Burners. Even though her houndstooth has kind of been done, I've seen it before. I actually thought it was very well executed. Yeah, see? I thought it looked really nice on her. Like, for her to do, like, the red and the orange and whatnot. I thought that was, like, a really good spin for her.
It actually reminded me of something that you would wear, Aaliyah. Like,
yeah, I think that's probably why I like it so much.
And it was you're right. It was a good departure from the colors. And didn't she say it was stoned as well? Like, I think when she was walking down, she said it was stoned.
I think she said she was stoned.
She was.
Who knows? Truth be told, because those rhinestones don't sparkle as much, or I would have been more gagged over Gottmik's outfit. But that's just
exactly. Yeah. Did you say?
Again, boots. I'm gonna say I didn't like Candy Hose. Candy. What was her last name? Candy Muse. Girl.
Candy Hose.
I don't even know.
Nice.
And I did like Simone's, so that was kind of weird. I wish she would have done something with the bag, because I thought that was part of the challenge for the girls was to actually do something to the bags.
Yeah.
Was I confused?
I was confused too, because I was like, why did you put shit on the bag? It's a Coach bag. Don't touch it.
To that note, like the show's partnering with Coach. I mean, that's a pretty big brand onto the show. I don't think I've seen that before.
I figured that would have been a bit more of that challenge.
Yeah.
So,
work the bag in.
Yeah, and then I will go back to say about Rosé. So I really liked the reference. I thought it was super cute. But when she first came out, my initial thought, and this is nothing against Rosé, was Patrick Swayze.
It's a little Vita.
Like, I really got that vibe.
That's Miss Vita Bohem right there. You're not wrong about that. That's very
right.
A little bit of a beard still showing through. I agree.
Really liked it though. It was super cute.
Watch how he does his makeup though. He has to cover that shit up. And him in the dressing room, like he has a full like ass beard. Like at he shaves at 9 or 9:30. He's putting on a really sharp
jawline.
Yeah. So that's tough. As someone who has to deal with that himself when I do drag. Walter. Last but not least, on the money bags.
Okay, money bags. Denali was a toot. Joey J was a boot. It's just a suit. Lala Ree, boring boot. Elliot, just a suit. Boot. Tamisha, just a suit. Boot.
And not
Olivia, another suit.
Wait.
I thought. Sorry, I'm going so fast.
Yeah.
I thought Simone's looked great on her, but you put it on somebody else and nobody's going to like it. I think she sold the outfit. I don't think the outfit was that good. Rosé's I thought was great. Lots of fun. I thought Tina's was great. I thought Utica's was fabulous. I thought Candy's was absolutely hideous. And as for Mick's, I thought it was great, but I hated just keep the scallop things down to the bottom. I hated the one going up the side. It was distracting. There was too much going on.
Yeah, the one on the sleeve made it drag.
Yeah, the Mick. Yeah, I thought the Mick was pretty, but I didn't lose my shit over it.
Okay. Yeah, they were gagging. I don't know. I don't want to.
Part of that character that they commented on was like, the headpiece, and is like really going into character too on that one. It was really
Absolutely. Yeah. I
a
like
boss woman.
Yeah. Moving on to the third one, gagging on your bags, or the design challenge, where we actually had to put something together. Oh, this is tough. It's tough to put things together, especially when you're not a seamstress, as we saw with Lala. Bless her heart. Oh my goodness. I had a lot of toots for this, actually, though. I thought a lot of people really, really turned it out. I really only had 3 boots, which was Lala, obviously. Tamisha, bless her heart, I need her to stop using shoulder pads or like any shoulder accentuation and a choker, because she has no neck. I'm like, I know it's her aesthetic because like that's what she brought into at the beginning, but I just see like this is what I see. I don't know if you can see me right now. This is what I see when you wear stuff like that, and it just doesn't look appealing to me. And then of course Candy, I was like, you basically glued backpacks onto a belt and wore it, and you were safe? ? My overall toot though was Utica. Oh my gosh, the fact that she made all of that, it looks like she almost like airbrushed a design on it too. I was very surprised she was not the winner. I know Got Mixed look was very good too, and I have her as a toot as well, but it was straps. It was something reminiscent of Aquaria, I would say. It was just very like, and it looked like it was intricately designed, but to do that, but then see what Utica brought, and it was all of that in the same amount of time, I was like, I honestly would have given the win to Utica. Russ, did you have a toot and boot?
I have a lot of toots. Denali's Diaz de la Muerte outfit was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Boot on, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boot on Got Mick. I wasn't a fan of the outfit. Loved Utica's, and of course Lala Ree was just the biggest disappointment of the show.
Gosh, how did you think that was okay? It's like,
I don't know.
13.
I did like also Olivia Lux in this challenge. I love just the colors and the design of the outfit.
Like, I think it was Michelle or someone who said Chromatica. I was like, I'm definitely getting a god. Garrett, did you have toots and boots?
Obviously, I'm going to start with the boot. I think that that bag going down the rug, like, it was the worst thing I've ever seen on any runway. Again, like, mind-boggling. I think she should have just been kicked off just for that alone. Like, not even in the bottom. I was like, no, that was no. Just no, as in the words of Michelle, just no. And then I did like Got Mick. I thought that was good. But yes, same. I mean, the Utica, all 3 of them. I guess the only critique they gave Utica was that all of them, that the campiness of the way that she walks down the runway, maybe with the funny faces and stuff, like took away from the high fashion element.
Mm-hmm. But it's too Evie Oddly.
But that's her drag, so I don't fault her.
I don't know if that's like a really hard critique, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny, and I enjoy that kind of drag. So that's my top and bottom there.
Completely. Andrew, what did you think?
I agree with most of what you're all saying about boots, but I actually hated Got Mix.
Wow, okay.
And I am really tired of skinny queens putting on straps and winning design challenges for it. Like, that's not a design, that's not special, and I'm really tired of that when you have Utica and Denali creating these masterpieces and getting ignored. So that pisses me off.
Olivia, let's not forget Olivia. That was
Olivia. Like, there's so many others, and even if you liked Got Mix Final One, clearly the judges chose her as the winner because of her middle look, which wasn't something she made or designed herself, which is a winning look on a design challenge. That pissed me off.
Yeah, I agree. I think the W should have gone to Utica this week. I think it was kind of a big mistake. Yeah. Aaliyah, what did you think?
So of course, agree with everyone that y'all are saying. I'll add on to what Andrew was saying with Got Mick, which was it's slightly annoying because you look at, say, Lala Ree, and then you look at Got Mick, and you really think about it, they're essentially doing the same thing, right? Like, Got Mick didn't make anything unique. She just put the pockets onto those straps. And so it's really unfortunate because it's like her and Lala Ree kind of had the same approach, just Lala Ree ran out of bags. Like if you really think about it, you know what I mean? So it's like that kind of like, I didn't have Gottmik on my, like, I had it as a boot, just a straight up boot. And then I thought, if you're going to go that route, then why am I looking at such a stark, like, pantyhose line to your normal? There was just a lot of little things where I was like, that could have been tweaked. You could have put a belt around, something you could have done to just elevate it more, and I maybe would have liked it.
Yeah.
But overall, I gave her a boot. And then I would agree, out of all the looks that walked on the runway this episode, I only had 4 girls that were tooted for every single look that they had. And that was Olivia, Simone, Denali, and Utica.
Mhm.
Those who I thought were supposed to be like the tops, right?
Agreed.
And so for Gottmik to win, I was a little upset because I was already rooting for Utica because she did such a spectacular job.
Yeah.
And then to find out that she does that for a living anyway, I was like, yes, bitch, because there's not enough of us running around out there in the drag world that like make everything head to toe. I do it all. That bitch does it all. So she should have won. She was robbed.
Yeah, and she was accepting the other girls and not as like reluctant, okay, I'll help you. She was so happy to be able to share her knowledge with them and help them. That loving, warm energy that we don't see enough on Drag Race, and I'm just mad at it. She didn't win.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of more classic Drag Race. It used to be more of a design. You had to kind of be good at designing a head-to-toe look, like on the spot, and Utica's clearly good at that. And in a way, reminding me of another season winner, Bianca, who was like, Utica hasn't read anybody yet, but she was willing to help. Like, when Bianca tossed that waist cincher to Adore and she became top 3, like it's that sort of mentality being like, I know I'm fierce. Let me help other people be fierce too. So I agree with you, Aaliyah. Walter, toots and boots for the final look.
Boots, Tamisha's ugly. Every time Tamisha walks down the runway, I think it's 1989 Pines Invasion, and she's getting off the boat. She is frozen in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Cherry Grove.
Not Cherry Grove.
Yeah, Cherry Grove. Simone was a toot. Olivia was a toot. Rosé was a toot. Tina was a toot. Denali was a toot. Joey was a boot. Lala Ree. Please.
You got a spreadsheet over there, girl?
Elliot, I actually thought he did a good job.
That was pretty.
Made something out of that. Candy Muse's thing was hideous, and she's running around talking about people not having taste. Hello. Utica's was brilliant, and I totally agree with Andrew about Gottmik's thing. I thought it was awful. It was just tape around her and something glued down the side of it. If you had put it, we've seen them, particularly Michelle, yell at other queens in past seasons saying, you're basically naked on the stage and you've glued something to your body.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Gottmik did with that. So she got a boot for me, and Utica was completely, utterly robbed this week. All 3 things were her point of view, were impeccably made, and that 3rd thing she made from scratch. Come on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, it was her week. I'm very surprised it went to Gottmik, even though I liked her last look. I think it was really Utica's week. But what's the good thing about Utica is she's not gonna like be pissed about it and be like, I should have won, or maybe she will. That'd be hilarious next week to see that happen.
Well, they showed her on the runway giving stank face.
Okay, but that could have been an edit too. So we don't.
Yeah.
Right, no. So it's like, I still think she's going to be like, well, I kind of wish I won, but let's just see what like, she seems like that person to kind of roll with the punches. And I think that's what's going to make her do well in this competition. When we get to the lip sync and the bottom 3, I really think it should have been, I definitely agree with Lala Ree being the bottom queen, bless her heart. That was just unforgivable. Even though she killed the lip sync, I was like waiting for Ru to be like, you killed that lip sync, but your look was inexcusable. I have to send you home. Like, I was oof, but she did really kill it. I also would have put like maybe Candy at the bottom with her. It would have been fun to see a Candy versus Lala lip sync. I think it would have been more entertaining, and I think it was more deserved. I mean, I didn't like Joey's look, but I liked it better than Candy's. I don't know. What did y'all think? Garrett, what did you think of the lip sync?
No matter what any of us think, because apparently when they go backstage, like they all tell each other what they think. Because who needs
Okay. Yeah, let's
when you
talk
have
about
Candy?
that. So lip sync, and if we all watched Untucked, like Candy had a moment. Well, she had 800 moments all in one Untucked episode. So, what do we think about her getting so offended at being come for when she clearly has no problem coming for other people? Garrett, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, I will say that, Tamisha is a mom in the community and has raised like all these children and stuff. So there's a level of respect that I think no matter what you think about somebody, when it comes to the elders that have paved the way for other ones, you need to like at least have that decorum. So I don't know. I was kind of feeling like somebody else in the room should have stepped up and been like, hey, like, don't come for her. She just had cancer. Like, she's been our mom, like a drag mom supporting kids for so long. Like, I don't know. I felt like it was a lot aggressive towards the fighting was just like unnecessary. But both of them attacked one another in a sense that was just like, for what reason? Like, we're not the judges. Like, you're not the judges. Like, be happy with whatever they say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a producer push there a little bit, but also it was very indicative of coming from the house of Aja. We remember when Aja would, was very insecure, and so she would lash out at others. And I think that's what we're seeing again with Candy. She knows that like to go on the offensive is a way of protecting herself in a way. And I think that's what we're seeing, because she wouldn't have gotten that upset with Tamisha if she wasn't already thinking some bad shit about herself. And so I think that's what we saw just kind of explode out of her at that moment. Aaliyah, what did you take of like the lip sync and the ensuing backstage drama from Untucked?
I think Lala Ree killed the lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad because I feel like Joey J already knew. Like, I feel like she knew before that song even started that, like, she was going home, because I didn't feel like she gave it her all. And so it was really hard to watch it next to Lala Ree, because you're like, all right, Joey, do you just want to go stand in the back and just watch Lala Ree play the rest of the song and then go home? Because I felt like there was no effort there. So as much as I didn't necessarily expect Lala Ree to, like, go home, but I figured she probably would have got a bit more, I don't know, like side eye from the judges a little bit.
Yeah.
And then as far as the drama on Untucked, girl, I know those girls. I've worked with girls like that before. And the one thing I can say is someone like Tamisha. So this is my take on it. I think Candy is obviously threatened by Elliot. Skinny white girl, blonde hair, very kind of not horrible, not like, you know what I mean?
It's very
she's competition.
not self-aware.
And then Tamisha coming in and saying what she said, I think it just like threw her for a loop. But girl, I could never. I don't see how girls can get that upset over a comment, because like, if you're like me, like I do drag for myself. So if you don't like what I'm doing, like that's fine. That's all, you know, that's your opinion. Like everyone's got an opinion. Like, but to pop off like that extreme, I would have been like Olivia, just sitting there drinking my juice. Or who was it?
Like,
Was it Brooklyn
Simone
Heights
also
season? You just, all you can do is just sit there, girl, because I'm sure they don't want to let you like get up off that couch and go stand in the back corner and just avoid the whole situation. So I think it's too messy. I kind of feel like Candy needs to go.
Agreed. I don't know if she's long for the competition, just because if you get that emotional and upset about like with someone coming for you, what happens when the judges read you for filth on like something you missed that week? Like, how are you going to then survive that? So
Girl, what happens when you leave the show and you have to represent RuPaul and you have to represent that across, you know, the world essentially? Like, how do you take that kind of attitude and then like carry that legacy? It's really hard. I wouldn't book people like that.
Exactly. Girls have said that. They're like, we don't want to get in like messiness on the show because that ruins like things afterwards. Look at the Vixen. Like, people don't show up for the Vixen's booth now because she happened to be the villain of that season or something. So you have to start thinking kind of strategically when you're on this show about like, yes, you want to stand up for yourself, but you never want to come across as like the bitch. And I know the edit can happen and they need to make a bitch out of someone. So just don't give them any more fodder than you need to, I would say.
At the end of the day, it's like this, though. It doesn't matter how good you are. It's how good you are to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you're the best person in the world. If you're difficult to work with, nobody wants to work with you.
Which is why I never work with Russ anymore. He is just a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that bitch.
That asshole. Now, what did you think of the drama backstage? What's going on? Did you like that?
Remember, I can pull you out at any time.
I saw that.
So to speak.
Yeah, get him out of here.
What was the question?
What do you think of the lip sync? What do you think of Candy's breakdown or blow up or blow out?
You know, as bad as Lala Reese was, there shouldn't have been a lip sync. And yet, I've said in the past, there's a couple of looks that I've liked with Lala Reese. So it's like, which way are we going here? Joy J he wasn't going to make it much further anyway, I don't think. The Candy meltdown. It's just tragic.
And like a lollipop melting.
Well, the difference between being
it's like putting the Easter bunny, the hollow Easter bunny, in the microwave and just watch it.
Candy. Mm-hmm.
It's like the difference was are you being arrogant or are you being like self-confident? I think was the words they used. But I wanted to just bring up before we go, the Black Lives Matter moment that happened on the show. Just that. When Lala Reese broke down and started crying, saying how hard it is sometimes just to be a Black person, especially, a queer Black person, drag queen Black person, just even adds more layers to it. So there was a nice moment in the show to bring up, especially with COVID, all the marches that were happening on Floyd, all of that stuff just really hit home. It actually made me tear up when I was watching it. So pulling on the little heartstrings and needs to be said a lot more out there.
Well, and I think another thing about this show is that this gives people a platform, a huge platform now. And I think they know that the show itself has a huge platform, and every queen on it does now too. So it's important to stand up for what you believe in. And I think that's apparent this year, and especially as Drag Race keeps going and going. So I'm glad they did say something, and I'm glad that it's getting out there and more awareness is being brought, especially because of this show, and drag queens being activists and such. That's fun. I enjoy that. But Aaliyah, did we go to you already about what?
Yeah, girl. I made my piece.
We did it. Sorry, Andrew, and then we'll go to Walter. I like to say Walter last. I don't know why.
Leave on
a. I think with the lip sync, I'm actually surprised they didn't want to go for a mother-daughter battle with Tamisha and Lala. That's what they were heading for. So I was a little surprised when they called
Joe. It seemed like they might have been setting that up in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Which I would have loved to see how that would turn out. I feel like Lala probably still would have won.
We still might see it.
But yeah, that's probably what they're going for later. Eventually, they'll go head to head. And with the drama, I'm torn because Candy was a bit hypocritical, calling out Elliott for whatever she felt, which was valid, but then not being able to take it from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But I also understand how in someone who has been, she said, I think last episode or last Untucked, everything she's been made fun of and made feel bad about her life, she's being celebrated for here. And then to have suddenly some of that come back at her as a negative again could set her off. I get that. So I understand.
As I was watching that, the attitude that I felt was, these are not Ru girls, these are bar queens.
That's very astute, Russ. She wanted to start a bar fight in there. If there'd been a bottle nearby her, I could have seen her going and just going for it. So I think you're right. But this isn't a bar. This is television, and this isn't just your performance space in your own city anymore. You're on a worldwide platform now, so it's taken into consideration, I think. Andrew?
At the same time, though, I think we often whitewash what conflict is supposed to look like.
True.
You have two non-white individuals having a conflict. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Candy probably went a bit too far, but I don't think it was anything to vilify her for. Maybe just okay, try to do better next time. But
for me, it's the difference between responding to someone and reacting to someone. A reaction is you just fire off on whatever emotion you have right then. A response is I'm feeling this way right now, and I want to respond to you in a manner that respects both of us, and then move forward. And I don't think that's what Candy did. I think Candy just reacted on emotion, and then later she cooled off and came back, and it was fine. But it's take that moment to cool off first, and then you can probably have a discussion instead of a fight about it.
I think she did. I
But
mean,
are you really gonna hit Tamisha on television?
That's true. No, it doesn't make good television. You're right. So it's like,
the thing is that she made that decision herself to walk away, though. She wasn't, told by producers to leave. She wasn't dragged off by another girl. She's like, you know what? I'm too mad right now. I'm gonna go. And when she came back, she apologized. She was in a better place to have a conversation.
yeah,
But
totally.
she has that self-awareness to know when she needs to remove herself and when she's ready to come back.
Yeah, we all need that time to breathe sometimes. I know I do. Walter, last about the lip sync, about Candy.
Yeah, it's two separate things. First of all, the lip sync, the people who should have been in the bottom were Lala Ree and Candy Muse. Candy's second look was hideous. The third one was a catastrophe. She had, but this week was like the week, 4 years ago, where they put Dusty Ray Bottoms in the bottom because they didn't want to get a Monet or Monique, or they had these storylines that they needed to keep going, and people who needed to be in the bottom, they didn't put in the bottom because they wanted them to stick around, so they just screwed Dusty Ray Bottoms and sent her home. Same thing happened to Joey.
Same with Joey. Yeah,
Same thing. Not that he did a great job, but there are people who clearly, no gray area, did worse than him.
Yeah.
But they wanted Candy around. They want Tamisha around. They want Lala around for some reason I don't understand, but whatever. So totally got ripped off in that regard. Now, as for that shit tornado that happened on Untucked.
Or shit-nado, if you will.
Shit-nado that was totally producer manufactured. I just want to go back a little bit. There was a moment in the regular part of the episode where Ru was talking to the girls 2-on-1 with her, and this very first group, it was Simone and someone else, and then Ru, and they were talking about stuff, and then apropos of nothing, Ru suddenly starts talking about her inner saboteur. And I just thought, why the fuck are you shoehorning that in? And it's like, yeah, it's Oprah. I mean, it's not Oprah, it's Ru. She wants to be some hybrid of Oprah and Deepak Chopra, but she's a fraud. She's an absolute fraud and a hypocrite because she has this show where she talks about everybody say love and inner saboteurs and all these wonderful things. And then she turns the show into a fucking Jerry Springer episode. You can't have both things, bitch.
No.
Either you're Oprah and Deepak Chopra or you're Jerry Springer. Because if you're going to do Jerry Springer, you're negating all of the other stuff. She's a fucking fraud and a hypocrite. It doesn't mean that I don't like the show. It's just I hate the hypocrisy of it because it's what gets eyeballs on. We're talking about it and all. But I just don't buy the, I'm Oprah and Deepak Chopra. No, you're a fraud. You've just got a reality TV show with a bunch of drag queens that just paid for your $17 million house. And that's perfectly fine. Congratulations. Welcome to America. But don't, please.
I
don't
think
insult us.
I don't think that makes her a fraud, though. Because
it's totally a fraud.
Conflict
You
is
can't do
not a
both.
bad thing, though. Conflict is not bad. I think that's again
But it's manufactured conflict where people are boiling up their butts. It's Jerry Springer. It is nothing positive. It's nothing positive and life affirming and making you feel better about the world. It's two drag queens screaming at each other.
Okay,
it's Jerry Springer in dresses and heels.
Let me present this to you then. Like, can you not show both? Can you show like the breakdown of people and then like going through their stuff and then maybe having some sort of resolution there? Are they setting that up to happen? Is that the overall message of the show of like, we can have these conflicts, we can get past them?
No.
Usually they do.
No.
It's
It's why they cast these people. So there's yelling. It's just like the Real Housewives
Yeah,
of
there has
whatever. They want everybody having a Teresa Giudice moment, flipping the table over because people then talk about it.
Okay, but that's the thing. There is an element of reality television, and we do need eyeballs on it because we want to watch. But that doesn't mean we can't frame the story the way we want it to, which is to have conflict and then to have resolution. So I think
yes, but don't just sell your show as yourself as being this person. Now, what would you tell your 6-year-old self?
I think
and all of that, and then have them.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree because I can see where you think that's fraudulent, but I think you can have both personally. Okay, but now we're running extremely long. Oh my God, we're almost as long
But
as.
hasn't it been fascinating? Well, if Russ had figured out what his favorite
Oh my God.
dessert was,
We'd
we'd
be
be
at
10
90
minutes
minutes right now.
shorter.
Oh, okay. So really quickly, top three.
And I just forgot I had a flan this week that was amazing.
Really quickly before we sign off, and everyone who's still watching, all one of you, thank you for watching our show live. Garrett, give me a top three.
Utica is the number one for sure. I hope wins. Will at least win Miss Congeniality. I do like Gottmik, and I do like Simone.
Okay, Walter, top three.
Utica, Tina, and Simone.
Okay, Andrew.
Simone, Utica, and Olivia, but Denali is catching up.
Denali is catching up. She's consistent. Aaliyah.
So funny. We have the same ones. Olivia, Simone, Denali, Utica. Either one of those four.
Nice. Russ, top three or four.
Utica, Denali. I like Rosé still.
Okay, I'm going Utica, Denali, Simone. I think that's going to be a fierce top three. With I'm not sure. There's probably a fourth one in there as a rounder outer. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone, for this very controversial episode of RuPaul's RuCap with me, your host Alex Ringler, and QLifeMedia.com. Tune in every Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Until next week, my loves. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're still live.